Let's talk about a prison. Now, this one has no iron bars, no stone walls, but it is incredibly good at keeping you trapped. And the most unsettling part? You're the architect. I'm going to start with a pretty bold statement here. You're not actually afraid of failing. Really, think about it for a second. The act of just trying something and it not working out, that's not what's really holding you back. Nope. The real fear? It's the audience. It's that imagined judgment, the whispers you think you hear, the ridicule you're so sure is coming. The fear isn't in the fall itself. It's in all those eyes you imagine are watching you as you go down. And that brings us right to our first big idea, the fear of being seen. We're going to take a hard look at the incredibly high price we all pay for this fear, this constant, exhausting state of self-censorship. And you got to think about the cost here, because it's not just some vague feeling of anxiety. It's real. It's the dreams you just quietly let go of because you worried you'd look stupid. It's those brilliant ideas you swallowed in a meeting. It's all the authentic, interesting, messy versions of you that you buried to be a little more acceptable. And when you add it all up, it's the quiet tragedy of living a life built for someone else, not for you. I think we all know this voice, right? It always seems to pop up at the worst possible moment, right when you're about to take a risk, or speak your mind, or try something new. That instant, paralyzing question. But what will they think? It's like the ultimate emergency brake on your life. And what happens when that voice gets the best of you? This. You shrink. You retreat into your shell. You pick the safer, smaller, less visible option. Instead of doing the thing, you find yourself just scrolling on your phone. You tell yourself you'll do it later. You make yourself less loud, less seen, less you. So, okay, if this fear is so destructive, why on earth does it feel so powerful, so real? Well, it's because your mind is playing a really clever trick on you. And in this next section, we're going to unmask it. It's called the spotlight delusion. And this isn't just a hunch, it's a real, well-documented cognitive bias called the spotlight effect. Psychologists have proven it over and over again. We are all hardwired to massively overestimate how much attention other people are paying to us, to our clothes, our words, our mistakes. We literally walk through life as if we have a giant spotlight following our every single move. And this is where you can really see the huge disconnect. You think every little stumble is a public spectacle. The truth, most people barely even notice it. And here's the kicker. They're not focused on you because they're the main character in their movie, worried about the spotlight that they think is on them. Your huge, world-ending failure, for them, it wasn't even a headline. It barely registered as a notification. Okay, but if it's all a delusion, why does it feel so painfully real? Where did this even come from? Well, that's what we're digging into next, the origin story of your fear. We're going to see exactly how the walls of this prison were built, brick by brick. Just think back for a second. As a little kid, you were probably totally fearless. You'd sing at the top of your lungs, completely off key. You'd dance like a maniac, fall down, and just pop right back up without a shred of self-consciousness. That fear just wasn't there yet because you hadn't learned that critical, painful lesson that love and belonging could actually be conditional. So how did this happen? It was a process, really. First, you learned the lesson. Maybe a harsh comment, or getting laughed at taught you that certain parts of you were unacceptable. Then came the edit. You started trimming away the parts of yourself that might get you rejected. This led to the design of a safe you, a public version built for everyone else's comfort. And ever since then, you've been working overtime, exhausting yourself, just trying to protect and maintain that facade. All right, this next part is a major turning point in how we think about all this. It's time to pull back the curtain on the very people whose judgment you're so afraid of. It's time to talk about the wounded judge. I really want you to let this one sink in. See, judgment, criticism, that's not coming from a place of strength or wisdom in the other person. It's almost always coming from a place of lack. People who are genuinely at peace with themselves, who feel whole, they have absolutely no need to tear other people down. They're just too busy living their own life. So think about it. Every harsh comment, every mean-spirited laugh, every time someone dismissed you, that was never, ever really about you. It was a projection. It was a reflection of their own fear, their own insecurity, their own pain. They were speaking from their wound, and you accidentally mistook it for a statement about your reality. And this right here is probably the most important takeaway of all. You took on their pain, their fear, their limitations, and you used those very things as the bricks to build your own prison. You let someone else's inner turmoil become your outer boundary. Okay, so how do we start tearing down those walls? How do we break out? Well, that's what this last section is all about. It's time to finally give yourself permission to be real and learn how to stop outsourcing your own self-worth. And when we talk about true self-respect, it's not about being arrogant or just ignoring everybody. It's an internal shift. It's deciding that your value is no longer up for a vote. Your confidence is yours. Your mood is yours. It's about deciding that your identity is yours to build, not something you rent from other people's opinions. And that leads us to a hard truth. But honestly, it's also an incredibly liberating one. You will never, ever make everyone happy. It's impossible. No matter how kind, how perfect, or how cautious you are, someone, somewhere, will find a reason to disapprove. It's a game that is fundamentally unwinnable. Which, of course, leads to the most logical question of all. If you're going to get judged no matter what you do, if criticism is just an unavoidable part of being alive, then why are you living small for it? Why are you sacrificing your happiness to avoid something that's going to come anyway? So let's leave it with this final thought. So many of us are just silently waiting for someone else to tell us that it's okay to be ourselves. Don't be one of them. Stop waiting for permission from people who are still waiting for their own. Because the only person whose permission you ever really needed was you.